The next circuit element is the inductor. So consider a purely inductive circuit. Basically, an inductive circuit is a coil with or without an iron core having negligible resistance. So this is a purely inductive circuit where L is the inductance of the circuit, V is the voltage applied, that is the AC voltage, and a current will flow in the circuit and that will be represented by I. Here the V is the alternating voltage, so it can be written as V max sin omega t. As the voltage is alternating, it changes with respect to the time. Therefore, the current will also change with respect to the time. And when the current is flowing through the inductance coil, then a magnetic field will be produced across the inductive coil. And as the current is changing, therefore this magnetic field strength will also be changing with respect to time. And the same magnetic field will cut the inductor itself. As a result, according to the Faraday law of electromagnetic induction, an EMF will be induced in the inductive coil. This EMF is induced because of the current, alternating current flowing through it. That's why it is also called as self-induced EMF. The self-induced EMF is represented by EL. Now, as it is a purely inductive circuit, that means if there is no resistance in the circuit, then the relation between the voltage and the self-induced EMF will be such that the self-induced EMF will oppose its cause, that is the supply voltage. That means at each and every instant, the V will be equal and opposite of the self-induced EMF. That can be written as V is equal to minus EL, where the self-induced EMF EL is represented by minus L di upon dt. This relation is derived from the Faraday law of electromagnetic induction. L is the inductance and di upon dt is the rate of change of current that is flowing through the coil. So the EMF that is induced in the coil is EL, and according to the Lenz's law, the induced EMF, self-induced EMF will be equal and opposite of the supply voltage. So here the V is equal to minus EL. Here the value of L, the unit of the L is mentioned in Henry, in short form H. So now from these two relations we can write V is equal to L di upon dt, because V is equal to minus EL and EL is equal to minus L di upon dt. So now we can write di is equal to V upon L dt. Di is equal to V upon L dt. Now put the value of V here. So it will be V max sin omega t upon L dt. Next, integrate both sides. So in the left side, integration di, and in the right side, V max upon L is a constant value. So we can take it outside the integration. So V max upon L integration sin omega t of dt. Or I is equal to V max upon L if we integrate sine omega t with respect to dt, we will get minus cos omega t upon omega plus some constant. At initial condition, this value will be equal to 0, so we can ignore this value. The value of a is equal to 0. Therefore, I is equal to V max upon omega L into minus cos omega t. Now minus cos omega t can be converted to a sine term, so it can be written as V max upon omega L sine omega t minus 90 degree. So I is equal to V max upon omega L sine omega t minus 90 degree. As we can see that V max upon omega L is a constant value. Therefore, when the sine term is maximum, that is equal to 1, the value of the current will be maximum. Therefore, when sine omega t minus 90 degree is equal to 1, we will get the maximum current, and that is I max, and it can be written as V max upon omega L. Therefore, instead of V max upon omega L in this expression, we can write I is equal to I max sine omega t minus 90 degree. So this will be the expression of the current that will flow in a purely inductive circuit if we apply V equal to V max sine omega t. So for a purely inductive circuit, we have got, if V equal to V max sine omega t is applied, corresponding current in the circuit will be I max sine omega t minus 90 degree, where I max is equal to V max upon omega L. Now, the value of omega L is considered as XL, that is called inductive reactance. So XL is called inductive reactance. The XL can be written as omega L, and as we know that omega is equal to 2 pi f, so XL can also be written as 2 pi fL. Here, if the frequency is in Hertz and the inductance is in Henry, then the unit of the XL is in ohms. So the inductive reactance is basically a parameter which is used to oppose the flow of current. But remember one thing, in DC circuit, the inductive reactance does not exist because there is no frequency. And in case of AC circuit, when the current is supplied is changing with respect to time, so it will produce an self-induced EMF across the inductance, and this self-induced EMF will oppose further flow of current. This opposition is considered as the inductive reactance. It is mentioned as XL. During numerical calculations, if the frequency is given, then we can find the value of XL by using 2 pi fL formula, and if omega, that is the angular velocity, is given in radian per second, then we can use XL equal to omega L. Now here the voltage and current relations, if I see, it can be seen that the voltage is Vmax sin omega t and current is sin omega t minus 90 degree. So draw the phasor diagram. In phasor diagram, the voltage will be in the reference line because V is equal to Vmax sin omega t. It is the reference line. So V will be along the reference line. And the current is Imax sin omega t minus 90 degree. That means at t equal to 0, the phase of the current will be minus 90 degree. Therefore, the current will be in the negative y-axis. So, from the phasor diagram, we can say that for a purely inductive circuit, current lag the voltage by 90 degree. So in a purely inductive circuit, current will always lag the voltage by 90 degree. That we can see here. The V is Vmax sin omega t. So the current is sin omega t minus 90 degree. Imax sin omega t minus 90 degree. In phasor diagram, V should be in the reference line and I should be 90 degree in the lagging position. That means in the downward side. So for a purely inductive circuit, the current will lag the voltage by 90 degree. Now, if I draw the waveform of this voltage and current, it will be look like this, where V is Vmax sin omega t, that I have already mentioned. So the waveform of the voltage will start from 0. It will reach maximum at 90 degree, that is pi by 2. At pi the voltage will be again 0. At 3 pi by 2 it will be in the negative side, and at 2 pi again it will be 0. So this is the waveform of the voltage. And the relation of the current that we have seen here, it is Imax sin omega t minus 90 degree. So the current is lagging the voltage by 90 degree. Therefore, the waveform of the current will be starting from pi by 2. Because when omega t equal to 90 degree, that is pi by 2, the sine value will be 0. So the current will also be 0. After that, when the omega t value is increasing from pi by 2, the sine term will become positive. So the current will be gradually increasing in the positive side. When the omega t is 180 degree, that is pi, it will be sine 180 minus 90, that is sine 90 degree. Therefore, the current will be maximum here. So at pi, the current is maximum here. Similarly, at 3 pi by 2, the value will be sine 270 minus 90 degree, that is sine 180 degree. So again, the value will be 0. And at 2 pi, the value will be in the negative side. So here from the waveform also we can see that the current is lagging the voltage by 90 degree. The voltage start from 0 at omega t equal to 0, but the current start at omega t equal to pi by 2. Now, if we consider the power equation of a purely inductive circuit, as we already seen in purely resistive circuit, the power is mentioned as product of instantaneous voltage and instantaneous current. It will give us the instantaneous power. So the instantaneous power can be written as Vmax sin omega t, and the current is I max sine omega t minus 90 degree. Now sine omega t minus 90 degree can be written as minus cos omega t. So it will be V max sine omega t into minus I max cos omega t. So it will be minus V max I max sine omega t into cos omega t. Divide the parameter by 2 and again multiply by 2. So it can be written as minus V max upon root 2 into I max upon root 2. And 2 sine omega t into cos omega t can be written as sine 2 omega t. So it is V max upon root 2 into I max upon root 2, and 2 sine omega t cos omega t can be written as sine 2 omega t. Now V max upon root 2 is Vrms, I max upon root 2 is Irms, and sine 2 omega t. So that is the expression of the instantaneous power. Now we can see that if we want to find the average power over a complete cycle, that is mentioned by the capital P letter. Here the power expression is totally a sinusoidal quantity. Therefore, over a complete cycle, the average value of this sinusoidal term will be 0. Therefore, for a purely inductive circuit, the average power is always equal to 0. It can be seen from the waveform also. So further see the waveform. Here I divide it into 4 parts. From 0 to pi by 2, from pi by 2 to pi, from pi to 3 pi by 2, and from 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi. See, in the first part, that means from 0 to pi by 2, you can see that the current is negative but the voltage is positive. Therefore, their product, the power will be negative. So this will be the power between 0 to pi by 2. Now from pi by 2 to pi, both voltage and current are positive. So their product will also be positive. So this will be the power between pi by 2 to pi. From pi to 3 pi by 2, here the current is positive but the voltage now becomes negative. So the power will be again negative. So this will be the power. And from 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi, both values are negative. That is, voltage and current both are in the negative side. So their product will be positive. So it will be the power. Therefore, for a complete cycle for 360 degree rotation, we can see that there are 2 cycles of the power. Here it is the negative power, it is the positive power, again the negative power, and again the positive power. Remember one thing, the positive power means when the power is supplied from source to the load. If we see the circuit again, the power positive means when the power is supplied or the current is flowing from source to the load. That means the inductive coil. And the negative power means the power is supplied from load to the source. That means the flow of current will be from load to the source. So the amount of power will be transferred to the load in one half cycle, and in other half cycle the same power will be transferred from load to the source. Therefore, over a complete cycle, the net power will be equal to 0. That can be also seen from this waveform. Here it is the negative power, it is the negative power, it is the positive power, and it is the positive power. Over a complete cycle up to 2 pi, we have 2 negative power, we have 2 positive powers. Therefore, the average power will be 0. So, the average power for a purely inductive circuit is equal to 0. So, in summary, for a purely inductive circuit, we have to remember these points. Voltage is Vmax sin omega t. So the current will be Imax sin omega t minus 90 degree. Where the relations between voltage and current is called reactance, that is inductive reactance XL, and it is Vmax upon Imax. Here if we divide numerator and denominator by root 2, then it can be also represented as the ratio of Vrms and Irms. So during numerical questions, XL can be calculated as Vrms upon Irms. Remember, for a purely resistive circuit, V upon I is equal to R. This is for a purely resistive circuit. But for a purely inductive circuit, V upon I will be equal to XL. The XL is again expressed as omega L or 2 pi FL, where F is the supply frequency in Hertz, L is the inductance in Henry, omega is the angular velocity in radian per seconds. So XL will be in ohms. So it will be in ohms. It will be radian per second. F will be in Hertz and L will be in Henry. Here also it will be in Henry. The next point we have to remember, for a purely inductive circuit, the current lags the voltage by 90 degree. The current lags the voltage by 90 degree. And the total power for a purely inductive circuit is equal to 0. That's all. Now see an example. Here the question is, the voltage and current through a circuit element are V equal to 100 sin 314t plus 45 degree volts and I is equal to 10 sin 314t plus 315 degree amps. Identify the circuit element and find its value. So here, during solution, first of all you must know that it is omega t. Therefore the omega here is 314 radian per second. It is given. V is equal to 100. V is equal to 100 sin omega t plus 45 degree. So here this 100 is the value of V max, because the voltage is given in terms of instantaneous value. And similarly, the maximum value of the current is 10 ampere. So I max equal to 10. Now to identify the circuit element, first of all draw its phasor diagram. The voltage is Vmax sin omega t plus 45 degree. So this is the reference line. So voltage will be at plus 45 degree, that means in the first quadrant. V. It makes 45 degree angle with the reference line. Whereas I is sine omega t plus 315 degree. So the phase angle of the current is plus 315 degree. So the plus angle is considered in the anti-clockwise direction. So here it is 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree, and then it will be here, that is 315 degree. So this angle is 315 degree. It is the phasor of the current I. Now if it is 315 degree, then definitely this angle will be 45 degree. Now if we consider the voltage and current relations, we can see that the angle between voltage and current is 90 degree because it is 45 plus 45. So the phase difference between voltage and current is 45 degree. And with respect to the voltage, here the current is lagging. So here the current lag the voltage by 90 degree. And it happens in case of purely inductive circuit. Therefore, the circuit element is nothing but inductance. So in the next step, we have to find the value of the inductance. As we know that XL is represented as Vmax upon Imax. In this question, the Vmax is given as 100 and Imax is given as 10. Therefore, the XL will be 100 upon 10, that is 10 ohms. The XL can be further written as omega L, or L can be written as 10 upon omega. Here in this question, the omega is 314 radian per second. Therefore, it will be 10 upon 314. And if we solve this, it will be 0.0318 Henry. So the value of the inductance is 0.0318 Henry, or if we want to change it to the millihenry, so it will be 31.8 millihenry. So this is the answer. The circuit element is inductance that we have find from the phasor diagram, because here the current is lagging the voltage by 90 degree, and by using the formula that we have already discussed, XL, we calculate the value of XL, and from XL we can find the value of L. So this is the final answer. Thank you.